So, Focus is an orc versus orc hell right now. This is what you don't want in the mirror. How does this happen? How are you both playing the same race, both controlling the same hero? Like Focus just leaves the game because it's like, yeah, what am I doing here? This mirror match includes a Blade Master with Lightning Shield swimming among headhunters. Alright everyone, we have a series of games on this video that we've been looking forward to just going over, because it's Lyn versus Focus, right? And you know this channel, you know we love us some orc, but we especially love these two orc players, right? They've been for so long representing the orc race in competitive Warcraft 3. And they've been doing it with flair, doing it with style, and just doing it in their own way. But it must be said, something happens when Lyn and Focus play. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it's just so brutal. Like, oh man, these games, they end swiftly and they end quickly. So we're going to see what Lyn's doing, see what Focus is doing immediately. Focus is like, nah, I'm getting that circlet. See, Focus is thinking like, it's a circlet race, there's another blade, and I want to get this shop item and item first. But you see, that's not what Lyn's thinking. Lyn's thinking, I want the claws that come from the Goblin Laboratory. Right? So we now have claws of attack +5 on Lyn. Now, you were just scouted. You were just scouted by the crystal ball. So Focus is being rewarded by prioritizing this camp here, right? Though you don't pick up the Tome of Agility, which is sad. And this is also an opportunity to deny the circlet, but it looks like we buy it anyway. So now Focus is defending the middle, so Lyn says, alright, I'll go for the other Goblin Laboratory. I got this one, and I'll go for this one. This Forest Troll Berserker has a great item. And this whole time, Lyn has vision. You see, Lyn's getting vision with the grunts, trying to see what's going on in the middle of the map. You see this right here. And now, this is great for Lyn, because we have 2 DPS items. And this whole time, Focus was just what? Waiting, trying to kind of defend this. So, how does this happen? How are you both playing the same race, both controlling the same hero, but at the end of the day, somehow Lyn's level 2, with the most godlike items you can imagine, and Focus is running back to his base level 1. What? Right? It's just like completely different levels of orc versus orc understanding. Like, you know, Lyn already had the Voodoo Lounge here for this sick route, and now we have this creep happening, but like this Gloves of Haste, that could have been like benefiting the blade this entire game. Like the Claws of Attack has been benefiting Lyn the entire game. So this creep route's just insane. We're almost level 3 blade, and just look at the difference between the blade masters. Let's see what happens here. We have Sentry Ward and Grunts. So we have 3 Grunts on the side of Focus, 1 Grunt on the side of Lyn, 2 Grunts on the side of Lyn. So we already see a bigger investment and an earlier Shadow Hunter. Oh, and look at that. Lyn just gets another snipe, level 3. And not very good with the 2 Grunts there. The 2 Grunts got ensnared, so you're not creeping as fast. Do you see how nervous Focus is of getting creep jacked and everything? You know, have to use the dust there, but you're already here. And Lyn, now that you have such a strong blade, you're just parking it right in front of the orc line there. And you're scouting, you're like, where is my opponent? So this whole time Lyn is saying, where is my opponent? I'm going to park myself here, put a ward here, and then just scout. He eventually does scout the opponent. He sees that my opponent has crept this whole thing and has a really strong item, right? Nice Ring of the Archmage. Uses Speed Scroll. Focus uses Speed Scroll so you don't get the deny on the salve there. So some really tight orc versus orc. You have double Tauren Totem on behalf of Lyn, and no tech on behalf of Focus yet, so it's already kind of confusing. Focus is somehow... Oh, yeah, oh god, this is so bad. So, Focus is an orc versus orc hell right now. This is what you don't want in the mirror. Your blade is just stubbornly trying to defend against theirs, and Lynn's so good with the sentry wards. Still has a sentry ward there, so this harass is effective. Doing some easy creeping with the shadow back home. And this shadow hunter cannot creep, because just the way this timing, like, he has to defend, but you can't defend this. And do you notice how Lynn is just waiting as long as possible, because every moment the shadow hunter is parked here is effective. So then Lynn just says, alright, time to force you to still stay at base. Focus is trying to make it work by saying, okay, fine, I'm still going to be creeping, getting these items, but like, these items aren't important. What's important now is levels on the shadow hunter. Now the shadow hunter is level 2. And Focus is level... This looks like my BNet games when I'm a little rusty and you just find yourself checkmated. Like, this is a checkmate scenario. I can't express how annoying it is that the blade, like, just won't die here. Isn't that insane? Isn't that incredible? The game's just over. Like, this is pro level Warcraft 3, and Lynn just beats Focus in the Orc versus Orc in 7 minutes. And he didn't even beat him in like a fight. He just beat him pure strategic, pure strategy from the early game, from the decisions and the creeping. Like, so bad. You're not supposed to do that to Focus, you know? Lynn, relax. You're not supposed to do that to another Warcraft 3 player. Just chill, you know? Maybe take a deep breath, Lynn. You don't have to, like... There was a point in which Lynn's blade was, like, level 2 with the best items blade can have. And Focus was running home to base to get a healing salve as a level 1 blade. Like, you really can't... I can't impress on you guys how much Blade Master versus Blade Master is defined by, like, right place, right time, good timing, good plan. And, like, yo, Lynn just has that beat. So I really love what Focus did here, right? You really think Focus is going to play Blade Master again? No way. You're going to Farseer. Yes. Yes, Focus. Good choice, Focus. You need to go Farseer in this scenario, because don't even attempt to outmaneuver Lynn on the Blade Master, especially when he was playing that hot on that last game. So this is a classic kind of Orc versus Orc meta thing. When you have a suspicion that the Orc player is better than you, go Farseer. Because then you can do some Farseer Firelord, Farseer Naga, Tower Rush. But let's just see what happens. Both players immediately killing their Ogre Warrior. Check out the creep speed. Farseer is a faster creeper. Don't let anyone tell you he's not. Farseer creeps faster because not only are we going barracks units, but we're not going the super fast tech. Right? Lynn had this 1 burrow tech. So you tech by the time you only have 1 burrow, whereas Focus is like, no, I'll have 2 burrows, safe, unit safe. This is the most secure build you can do in Orc versus Orc. And after he was so manhandled in the last game, yeah, he wants to go a secure build. So Lynn, we've talked about this before. Lynn is so good at routing creep routes for the Blade Master that get good items, right? So this route, he buys a clause of attack from the marketplace after getting 1 clause there, and then creeps a gauntlet of Ogre Strength. So, you know, you already have a full inventory blade. Really great awareness of this map. Cloak of Shadows, you're not going to be able to use that because... Oh, and you just use your Clarity and go back and get it. Nice. Farseer trying to get level 2. I actually like that. I actually like Focus's approach. I actually sometimes think getting a early level 2 Farseer is really important, because Chain Lightning can represent burst damage, and oh no. Oh no, Lynn! So Lynn just immediately says, alright, time to make life hell for my opponent. Gets a 1 unit surround, gets a kill on the Grunt. You now have critical strike. The Farseer surround, but these Kobolds are stunning. Stun Lords. So now the Farseer is getting stunned too. So, like, this is just miserable. Here's why the Chain Lightning is important, though. See, right? Almost get a kill on the Blade Master. Chain Lightning is an important tool against the Blade. But I digress. We're trying to talk about good timings here. it is a very good timing on on Focus to TP by the time the Voodoo Lounge was done. That is good, right? That's good use of TP. Your TP essentially was a fast track back to your shop. But Lin is pressing the issue. Lin is like, I know there's a low HP Farce here somewhere. Let me scout around. Let me use these grunts to go wide, catch a wide net, and then let's use an invisible Blade Master to scout directly. You see it, you check the HP, steal the Manual of Health, and what's our game plan? We're not going after the Farcer anymore, we're going after the unit healing it. Interesting how you just let it run away there, you see the speed scroll, and you go for the second one. So, this is a big unit. Killing the Forest Troll Berserker is huge. Yeah, 85 experience, that's a really big unit. And yeah, there you go, look at that, just leave. Like Focus just leaves the game because it's like, yeah, what am I doing here? All my units are spread out. I'm facing a Shadow Hunter that now has Hex. I've just lost all my Forest Troll Berserker, everything. Doesn't matter, the Forest Troll Priest survives. Just brutal, right? This is crazy. And I mean, we're just gonna watch the other game. And you know how in the beginning I said I'm not going to spoil it? Well, I think now you know why I'm watching these games. I'm a little inspired by how badly Lin beats Focus in Orc vs. Orc. You see, because like this says something about Warcraft 3, right? This teaches us something about Warcraft 3. That like Focus is not bad at this game. Not in any way, shape, or form, right? Focus is so good in certain matchups. But Orc vs. Orc is, in my opinion, one of the most strategically dense matchups in Warcraft 3, simply because of the presence of the Blade Master and the presence of both players being able to choose the Blade Master. And now both players can be invisible on the map at the same time. Like, Focus is literally saying, I don't want to play that war of attrition with you, right? I don't want to do this whole invisible gambit thing because clearly, Lin, you not only know these maps, but like, Lin seems to have specific creep routes with Blade Master versus Blade Master in mind, right? Lin seems to have specific creep routes to really get a fast Blade Master. So we're seeing these styles clash. Lin going for the Hydra, which is always good. You want to kill the Hydra first, because if you get creep jacked and you have to run, the Hydra's going to do split damage to both of your units, slowing them. Not the fastest creeping here, but the Headhunter should speed that up. Got a Dust here because we're really afraid of Lin, and who wouldn't be, right? Lin's been all over the map in these games, so the Dust is helpful. But it is important to note we did miss the Dust. Ouch. That means the Blade Master is not losing HP when you Dust. That's kind of how I like to view how to get max Dust value. After you Dust the Blade, you should be pouring all the DPS in him, right? Because like, you're kind of making Windwalk lose its biggest value, which is stopping the damage. So you can't just like use Dust and then watch the Blade Master. No, you have to do something with that Dust. So deal damage to the Blade. Unfortunately, this is going to break the soul of Focus. Thankfully, we got the last hit, but man, we just gave the Blade a Gloves of Haste. So Lin is just right place, right time, so effortlessly. Focus, though, very good on the Dust, especially good on the Chain Lightning. Like I said before, I think Chain Lightning quick is important versus Blade, but now he's just stealing Tome of Agilities in front of your face. A speed scroll used by both orcs, so equivalent exchange, right? Speed scroll for speed scroll, that's common in the mirror. But Focus just comes back. Did you see that alley-oop? Focus comes back, gets the item, and now Focus is like trying to cope with the fact that it's nearly 5 minutes in, and you have one item, and the Blade Master has 5, right? So something has happened this game in which the Blade Master has derived more value. Now, this is what I'm saying. You go Soul Burn. I know he's not going to go Soul Burn, though, because most orcs go Lava Spawn, but when you're against Lin and this blade is so huge, I don't know, I kind of like Soul Burn. Now, Lin knows he's getting attacked, knows he's getting rushed. What's the first thing you do, Lin? You even get the last hit on the... Okay, now Lin, what's the first thing you do? What do you target? You bring out the wood peons, try to get a heal on the peon, it doesn't work out. So you just bring out the units, because you just need there to be more bodies. As long as your blade is chopping, you're okay. 3 grunts, this is not the rush you want. 3 grunts on direct contact on a headhunter, this is not good. But it's good for Lyn, because every time the blade gets experience, the late game becomes yours. Level 3 blade. Potentially you would go level 2 crit here if you knew you just needed to chop things, but level 2 windwalk is a huge power spike. Yeah, the Voodoo Lounge here is so placed. This is just like, I don't think this rush feels effective, because level 2 windwalk now just kills the Farseer. Okay, but wait a minute. Not bad, not bad. Low HP heroes on Lyn, though the towers aren't getting up, and the purge is very disrespectful. Lava spawn. See, that should have been purged, but we have 2 lava spawns. So hey, if the lava spawns can keep splitting, this is really good for focus. Now the Farseer comes back with level 2 spirit wolves, so dire wolves are nice. But Grunt Shaman, that's definitely the answer. Just Grunt Shaman is so good versus this. Every Shaman that comes out is like just free experience. Get a heal wave? Yeah. Look at those lava spawns. There's so many lava spawns. Look at the Voodoo Lounge repair. That's so important. Look at all the wasted DPS. This Fire Lord could have been hitting things, but instead that Voodoo Lounge acted as a tank, absorbed 500 HP of fortified reduced damage. Like in these rush situations, it's so important that that Voodoo Lounge doesn't fall, because it's just like maximum value. Lyn knows this. We all know this. There are now... Okay, Lyn was attacking his own Voodoo Lounge. I've been prone to do that too. I actually was fairly affirming. Even Lyn sometimes attacks his own units. And we have Attempt 2. Attempt 2, another full-scale invasion of Headhunters. I mean, Focus knows he's only he can only throw Hail Marys, but once you scout that and see this Orc army, like, any Orc player knows, like, this is not a pushover Orc army. Like, you're supposed to push with Firelord and Farseer when you have more units. You literally do not. Like his Grunt and Shaman count rival your Headhunter count. And talk about a place you don't want to be. Like, this mirror match includes a Blade Master with Lightning Shield swimming among Headhunters. There's just zero chance that works out for the Headhunter player. It's just so effortless. Fun game by Lyn, right? And there you have it. Look at this. Look how short this video is. Look how short this video is. Lyn, you're not allowed to bully Focus this much. I know that someone needs to tell you this, but that's just, it's not fair. You can't do that to Focus. I think that, like, Lyn's level of preparation on creep routes really, really shows. Lyn's like a scouting god, be there at the right place, right time Lord. But I feel like you can see it the most in Orc versus Orc, and why he wins so handily versus Focus. Meanwhile, I feel like Focus has like a stronger approach to Orc versus Undead. I kind of like the way that Focus pushes it early and isn't so focused on getting like a super big late game blade. I sometimes think Focus just brawls earlier with Undeads to better effect, but that style doesn't work in Orc versus Orc. And Lyn, on the other hand, I mean, just the things that stick out to me most are the moments in which you can juxtapose key points in the game where it's like you're both playing the same race, you both have access to the same decisions, but Lyn just across the board has better items, better hero levels, better situation, and it's like, it's those little tiny things, they add up. So hey, if you guys like this video, if you guys love Warcraft 3 as much as I do, follow, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.